Hello, hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? I think things are going. Things are moving forward. OBS did a new update, so I had to reconfigure stuff, so we'll see. We'll just wing it. We'll go for it. Thank you in advance to those of you who've already come and gone, who gave me some really nice happy birthday wishes. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, today's my birthday. I appreciate all the birthday wishes. It made my day, which was great, by the way. Spent time with family, saw friends. We had a pretty good time overall. So, you know what? It was a good one. Sean, what is up? Hello, Tom. Happy birthday. You do anything special? Yeah, so for my son, we took him and we went to one of his friends' house. They had a bunch of friends and other kids over, did a Easter egg hunt. You know, it's not Easter, but we did it in advance, and it was so, oh my gosh, the kids had fun. Us grown-ups had a good time, and it was good. Everything worked out pretty good. And Sean, if you can let me know if you're still there, if you can hear me. Otherwise, it's one of those things where I'm like, do I really want to like Tomalog for the next hour, but it's all muted, you know, this entire time, which is something I've done before, and oh, good times. I need to stream more just to get back in the hang of it all, you know. But yeah, so anyway, after the kids had their fun time, we picked up my mom. We went to P.F. Chang's, and oh man, I love P.F. Chang's. Mongolian beef, all of it, yum. It was great. All right, Sean's saying he can hear. Good, all that matters. As long as Sean can hear us, then we're great. Albert Lewis, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Oh yeah, we got a couple stuff. So you can't really see it, but I'm not sure if for those of you who don't know, I make stop motion projects, and I have a green screen studio. In the future, I hope to do live stream recordings of me doing my stop motion magic. But anyway, for my birthday, I asked for some new equipment, new stuff to help improve my studio. It's currently under construction. Should be ready by the end of the week. We're going to be out of town, of course, for the first week. No, wait, the second week of April. So it's going to be our spring break during that time. So I'm not going to be able to, do the thing, do the stop motion thing. But I'm excited to get back in it. It's been a while. And speaking of stop motion projects, probably within the next couple minutes or maybe 10, 15 minutes. It depends, it depends on how these things go. It's a ask me anything, we're just chilling. So if people are like, yeah, hey Tom, we could really use some great entertainment right now, and I've been yammering and it's ineffective. I'm gonna just, play some good old classic Godzilla stop motion hits. But yeah, it went pretty well. I also ordered some other cool stuff for the upcoming trip. They those new, what are they called, compact graphic novels where they release it's a pretty cool attempt by comic book companies to get people to read more comics. So they release graphic novels, some of their all-time classics, but they're smaller, they're more on the go. So I ordered the Godzilla Rulers of Earth one, so that's gonna be coming my way here soon. Obviously gonna be getting back into it for educational purposes. By that I mean, yeah, absolutely gonna cover that on the channel in the future, but it's gonna it was interesting because currently I'm doing Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters, which was, IDW's entire launch into Godzilla. And I thought, man, it would be cool to do Godzilla Rulers of Earth because it's one of my favorite Godzilla comic series, but it felt wrong to just jump straight to it. So we're doing Kingdom of Monsters, then I'm going to tackle the Godzilla ongoing series after that, and then finally we're going to get to Rulers of Earth. But in the meantime, it will be good to familiarize myself with just great comics, man. Great comics. That's Kaijutopia live reaction to the Godziverse episodes. Whew. I don't know if Toho would like that. Although Toho has kind of lightened up a lot, kind of chilled when it comes to, reviewing their content and sometimes, taking some things they've made and working into some of your projects and reacting appropriately. So who knows? We'll see. I still remember the time when Toho was very quite strict about, well, everything. But yeah, so as far as projects go, just to bring everyone up to speed, because that is the whole point of Kaijutopia. It's to entertain, make sure everybody is having a good time. I always try to try and push myself, try and just think about like, okay, what can I do differently for this project, but we'll also make sure that that's kind of like living up to the standards that everyone's been accommodated to. And I want to just make sure everyone just enjoys himself, because there's so much negativity, there's so much crap in the world. So it's nice to just be able to entertain, or maybe if you're interested, like I still have my Godzilla meditation videos out there. So if you guys ever want some Godzilla chill time, check those out. But yeah, as far as projects go, I have like dozens of like comic book breakdowns in the works. Those are going to take more and more time just to, I try to like, I've been debating this, and I'm thinking, since, a lot of, obviously the top tier Kaijutopian subscribers are here now. Like, you are the best of the best, sir. Cookie for anyone who caught that reference. But like, to those of you who like my Godzilla comic book breakdowns, I guess first, how do you think I can improve them? I always feel like I can do better with the audio. I definitely can do better with the audio. But like, do you want like sound effects, when it transitions to the next page or so? Do you want me to add special effects, visual effects kind of stuff like that happens to that complements what we see on the comic panel in question? For example, like, if Godzilla and a giant monster are fighting in a city, you want me to add like a rubble effect, maybe embers, sparks, or maybe it's like Godzilla's fighting Thor. Do you want me to add like lightning, that kind of stuff? Like, just give me an idea of what you guys would like, or if you have any other suggestions, I'm open to it. Sean, I'm happy that you like this crown. Funny story, this is one of the things that I got for my birthday. My son picked it out, and it was a nice surprise. Absolutely a nice surprise. Jude Lowe is asking, what is my favorite Godzilla movie? Oh man. Right now, right at this second, I'm gonna have to go with 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters. I just watched that last night with my son, and it's so good. I mean, it gets better the more I watch it. It's just so fun to go back and see. 2019 feels like an entire different lifetime ago, right? Like, that was before COVID, before my son was born, before all the massive changes, not only in my life but in the world. And that was around the time when, like, I feel like we were still, as a community, as Godzilla fans, we were still kind of not accommodating, I guess, adapting to this new world, the new direction the Godzilla series was going into. You know, the MonsterVerse was still one of those, how's this cinematic universe supposed to compete with Marvel or Star Wars or, you know, all the other big IP franchises? And, you know, despite being literally one of the biggest, most recognizable characters of all time, Godzilla still, like, not too long ago was kind of more akin to something people made fun of, didn't really take seriously. Now he's, of course, a major character. Now it is the Godzilla. We're in the golden age, right? I mean, we got Godzilla movies winning Oscars. We have, like, 2 or 3 different, like, live action movie series. You know, from Shin Godzilla that happened, then Godzilla -1, and the MonsterVerse now, of course, is thriving. But Godzilla King of the Monsters, anyway, is my favorite, especially since, like, I really love the lore that the MonsterVerse was building. The world building around that time was so fascinating. Of course, nowadays it's like they're making it up as they go, and as far as continuity goes, kind of. Do people really care? Well, I do, but I don't think the mainstream audience really cares a whole lot. But yeah, I absolutely love the kaiju designs. I think King Ghidorah and Rodan are my personal favorites. I feel like the Rodan design especially is perfection. Bear McCreary's score, of course, is just legend. Wait for it, Derry. And for the most part, yeah, I feel like it's strange how Godzilla King of the Monsters has kind of become, like, forgotten in a way. Like, I feel like it's rarely talked about, or at the very least it's not exactly in the MonsterVerse films, or even in Monarch, although in Monarch's defense, it still technically hasn't reached the point where the events of Godzilla King of the Monsters take place. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it's very rarely addressed. Like, I feel like the event, like, when's the last time how much you want to bet in the upcoming Supernova film we're not going to hear much about King Ghidorah? Now, to those of you watching from the future, and the movie is, of course, breaking records, and if that turns out to be the case, then please flood the comments section and set things straight. And Sean says, I think roars and sound effects could improve the comic reviews. Alright, thank you, Sean. Yeah, definitely something worth looking into more, because I think it would add more, a better sense of immersion. Like, I want you guys to sometimes I do feel like it's a good way to maintain that attention, to help. Also, I think it helps if I'm like I happen to be narrating an action-packed sequence or something, and I think it would add more to the gravitas. It would definitely make it a more entertaining video. Ooh. I forgot to bring a drink. Silly me. Although I did finish my Starbucks before the stream started, so I'm pretty good. We're good. The Loki crown is cool and all. It's just right around here underneath. It's building up some sweat. So it might, if it ends up falling down, or maybe it sticks. Wouldn't it be something if this ended up permanently sticking to my forehead? I mean, it wouldn't be all, things wouldn't be all that bad, right? I mean, so if in a future video you see me wearing this again and again and again, well, you know the truth. Who is my favorite Godzilla kaiju character? Okay, so to make this more interesting, besides the Godzilla character himself, because Godzilla is my boy. I love Godzilla. He's my number one. But let's say, like, favorite Godzilla kaiju that's not Godzilla. I'm gonna go with Mothra. Especially since when I was younger, I scoffed at Mothra, right? I thought, like, ooh, Mothra, totally just, like, Mothra, it's so girly, only for girls, you know? Why? It's just a moth. Why? I hate how she, like, beats Godzilla, too. It pisses me off, or, you know. So, that was my initial impressions of the Queen of Monsters. But over the years, when you really, like, when you realize, like, the whole, what's the purpose of Mothra? What does she represent? Like, it really, like, begins to kind of open your eyes not only to enjoying a character who maybe at a certain point you thought was, very two-dimensional, not at all interesting. You know, you go in with all these different presuppositions, and then you really begin to realize, no, this character is far more complex. There's a reason why she's one of the most popular Godzilla characters of all time. There's a reason why, you know, look at how much Godzilla has resonated, right? How Godzilla is still here, but then, hey, he's not alone. And Mothra is still up there as well. I mean, we literally just saw her in New Empire. But anyway, what I really love about Mothra, for me, I can't remember how old I was, but when I, like, watched Mothra versus Godzilla again, and the first one from the 60s, the scene where, like, we reached the point where the humans have not been helpful in returning, you know, the egg. They have been nothing but just mean and cruel to Mothra's people, to the natives of Infant Island, and, you know, eventually Godzilla's on the warpath, and he's going to, like, burn all of Japan down, so they go to Infant Island to get help, to seek Mothra's aid, and it's one of those scenes where it's like, after everything, despite how utterly ungrateful, unhelpful the humans have been, they still came asking for help. And I can't imagine, I really, even now, had someone been extremely rude, obnoxious, and disrespectful to me and my loved ones, and then one day they come to me begging for help, can I say with confidence that, oh yeah, I would do the right thing, I would, you know, be the better man and help them, right? I don't know if I could really do that, because, again, it's hard, you know, to think about that sort of thing. But the very fact that Mothra helped, the fact that Mothra agreed to help them, that to me, like, that day she was my goddess. And speaking of which, Mothra's really fascinating for being both a kaiju, a monster, and divine. She's a divine monster. So there's so much more to say about Mothra, but yeah. Sean says, I thought Space Godzilla was your favorite. I love Space Godzilla. He's one of my favorites, and who knows, maybe he will, you know, return to that second favorite spot 10 minutes from now. Guys, I'm 39 now, okay? I'm like, you gotta be patient with me. I'm an old man now. I'm now a year from the big 40. Lord Dre asks, are you ever going to make another short movie like Mechagodzilla vs. Space Godzilla vs. Destroya? I mean, ironically enough, I was thinking about having a stop motion marathon, and that is absolutely one of the videos I have lined up and ready. And the answer is like, at this point, I'm not completely sure I can give you a definitive yes or not, because I plan on making more stop motion movies, and I do have storyboards, pre-production plans for more ambitious projects. But to make another one like that movie, which is like a 20-minute long monster that came out around the time when I didn't have a full-time job, unless, you know, being a full-time dad parent counts, but like the stars would have to align. Or if I decided I'm going to make a movie just like that, but it's going to take me years to make, because stop motion, like, and I just mean like by like at a, like, I don't want to like try and suggest that my stop motion is top tier. I think I make okay stop motion. Like, the actual stop motion itself is, I'd say it gets the job done. It's okay. It's by no means something to write home about. I feel like there are ways in which I can make the overall project fun and immersive, but my stop motion could absolutely be way more, like, the reason why it's not on the level of like A Souza Productions and some other really damn good Godzilla stop motion artists is because it's about timing. So I'm really good about timing. I'm really good about, you know, planning things ahead of time, production from a production standpoint. But like for a massive project like MDS was, you know, I would have to play the long game, and as of right now, I'm not exactly sure. I would like to, and maybe, who knows, maybe someday, maybe this time next year, maybe this channel will have grown to the point where I could, you know, I could see it as being something that could be not only in my best interest, but it pays the bills. It actually, you know, if I'm up here, you know, making stop motion movies several hours a day for weeks on end, which, you know, takes me away from spending time with my family, but if that's because it's my job, like it literally pays the bills, then I can see that working out. But otherwise, it's going to be like it's going to be a long process. Let's just say it. I'll leave it on that. Other than, like, if I do plan on making a longer, ambitious Godzilla stop motion video, I'll make a huge announcement of it. It'll be in the community posts, and I'll keep everyone up to speed, right? I'll make sure everyone is aware, and I would definitely do more live streams again of doing VFX tutorials or edits. So let's see, what else? What do we got? Have I ever heard about the Godzilla Sonic crossover from IDW? I have, and I am looking forward to it. I like Godzilla, obviously, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see how it pans out, and if I feel like it's pretty good, I intend to cover it on the channel. JSPina says, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Love your Godzilla dancing, you know, thumbnail you got there. Love it. Jude Lowe says, also, I want to ask, since not a lot of people played the Godzilla PS4 game, have you played it or heard of it? And if so, what is your opinion on it? I've never played it, but I have heard of it. Other than that, I'm sorry, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I mean, I just such a, oh man, such a boring answer, I admit. Sorry. Sorry if that's disappointing, but yeah, I don't really have much more to say on that. Although on the subject of Godzilla video games, we need more of them. And I mean not like as a app or so to play on like your phone, and not knocking it by any means. I just mean like, I don't know if any of you guys ever played the Godzilla Melee games from Destroy All Monsters Melee from the GameCube or the Nintendo Wii days. Godzilla Save the Earth was my jam. But yeah, oh, let's see what else we got. Sean says, are you friends with other Godzilla YouTubers like D-Man or Donnie Winter? D-Man and I have had some conversations here and there in the past, but we're not friends. I mean, we're friendly. He's given me advice in the past before. I enjoy his content. I think he's grown tremendously as not only a storyteller, editor, but also just like as a visionary. Like, there's some like I don't know if he's done it yet, but he's talked about wanting to do more like character study videos, or at least that's what I remember him mentioning a year or two ago. So he's shared a lot of very interesting, insightful ideas that I'm kind of like, I myself would be interested in making a similar video on. But honestly, I know that since he's interested in it and he would do a far better job than I ever could, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm content with just waiting for the man himself to do it. But no, I feel like D-Man, he's very friendly, he's nice, I enjoy his stuff. And Donnie is a friend of mine. I love him very much. He's a good guy. I've known him for years, as far back as this site called Rodan's Roost Kaiju File. Yeah, I don't know if anybody has in the chat or watching even knows what that is, but you know, back in the day we had these things called message boards, and they're kind of like what social media outlets like Facebook or subreddit, or you know, that's what they were for, where you could, you know, interact with other friends. And yeah, Donnie, that's where I had interacted with Donnie, and since then it's been great. Just seeing where our lives have taken us. So yeah, both of them really good people. All right, in the meantime, I'm gonna get things set up and ready. Let's just watch some movies. I might pause at any point, or if you guys are asking questions, feel free to send them out and I'm going to respond accordingly. If the movies are too loud, let me know so I can like fix that. But let's start. Let's see what we got first in our lineup. Alright, so first we have... Let's see what we got here. This is Godzilla vs. Bambi. First big stop motions I've made. It's currently the... it's actually the most popular video I have. The most viewed video I have on the channel. Believe it or not. The twist of Bambi growing into his giant, like horse-like deer. It still puts a smile on my face. course, this is the part where I remember so many comments. Why didn't Godzilla just crush Bambi's mom in his hand? What kind of ending is this? That's what kind of ending this is. You don't mess with Bambi. That's the takeaway. I mean, even Godzilla knows better. Oh, classic. I love it. Pause on that. Okay, so what else? Sean says, if you could turn Mechagodzilla vs. Destroyer vs. Space Godzilla into a comic, would you? And who would you want to do the art? Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't really bother in turning it into a comic. I'm quite satisfied with it as it is. Obviously, if offered the job to turn it into a comic, I would absolutely do it. But I guess, like, there's hardly any interest on my part. But if I had to choose somebody to do the art, ooh, that would be. Oh, that would take time. Yeah, I don't have a straight up answer for which artist, because I would want to. No, actually, probably the artist who helped me in designing the movie poster, Alex Alcantor. I'm not sure if he's still active as of right now, but he's one of the most skilled artists I've ever had the privilege of working with. So yeah, Alcantor. I would see if he would be up for the job. Next question: which Toho kaiju do you want to appear in the MonsterVerse? First, shame on you for saying Toho kaiju, because the obvious answer is Gamera. But I kid. Jokes aside, which Toho kaiju would I want to appear in the MonsterVerse? Part of me wants to be kind of an ass and be all like, ooh, I mean, I know Rodan's already appeared, but I want more Rodan. I mean, it's kind of it's interesting, because there are a couple kaiju that I think should that I would say either would be the perfect overarching villain, like the final boss, like Hedorah the Smog Monster. I feel like receiving the MonsterVerse treatment would just be nothing short of nightmare fuel. And then there's Biollante. I'd love to see Biollante return in the MonsterVerse, because I feel like Biollante absolutely should return in one way or another to the movies, but I feel like she would fit in so much. She would absolutely fit into the MonsterVerse, its entire lore, and I think she could actually add to its overall, like, add to the expanding universe, add to, the. I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like she could single-handedly usher in a new chapter in the MonsterVerse where they could go into so many more directions afterwards. And then Destroya is an obvious choice. I mean, they kind of left a sort of window of opportunity there in Godzilla King of the Monsters, where they, in my opinion, shoehorn the Oxygen Destroyer in, but I feel like they could at least, if they came back and that was a good way of introducing Destroyer into the MonsterVerse, they could maybe salvage that. I would love to also see Gigan in the MonsterVerse. There are so many different ways of making him work. And being a redhead, I gotta give a shout out to my ginger toad brother from another mother, Gabra. Gabra in the MonsterVerse, because why not? Okay, honestly, Dagora is another kind of like, you didn't see this coming. I feel like Dagora could be an absolute menace, a true like existential tier threat. Alright, let's see what other movies we could watch. Oh, this one's so... Okay. So, long ago, I rock climbed regularly, and at my favorite rock climbing gym at the time, I went in and dressed up in a air-inflated Godzilla suit. Oh man, this takes me back. Almost immediately at this point I realized this is the single hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it was so... Right about there is when I'm like, I remember just gasping for air. I'm like, this is so much harder than I thought it would be. Created and performed by Thomas Singleton. Who's that guy? Special shout out and thanks to my best friend BJ Listening for recording.
There you go.
And of course, for the record, I did eventually make it to the top. And I gotta admit, man, I thought totally when I fell that...
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. You heard the man. So I'm in this suit full of air, and I'm like about 15 feet up in the air at that point. And I thought for sure, you know, there's a big chance when I fall and hit the mat, the suit might pop. So it didn't happen, but actually it didn't pop, but it did break. Like I did like damage the suit permanently, and that was its final hurrah. The suit in question, by the way, has been in a previous Godzilla fan film I made when I fought a giant ghost. That was my who was played by my friend BJ, who you just saw, and yeah. All right, let's see what else we got on the plate coming up. But before, One-Eyed Thing says dropping by to say hello. Keep up the fire video edits. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And it's good to see you too. You are welcome anytime, my friend. Alright, so this next one is pretty crazy. Might be playing this multiple times. Just look at that cute cat. Oh my gosh. It's true what they say. Cats are the most powerful, dangerous beings in the entire universe. No, right here. You know, I feel like Vanellope was just born to be a movie star. Let me just look at her. It still surprises me to this day that she, like, still stayed on, you know, on the green screen set that I made. The interesting thing about working with Vanellope, or just cats, just in general, is the fact that, like, you can plan as much as you want, you can storyboard, you can, you know, you can have your scripts, but the truth is, the Godzilla's honest truth, the cat, the animal star, will set the tone. Like, they will decide the course of events. So I could say, I want Vanellope to take her paw and try and swipe at the camera. But there's a difference between planning that and actually making that happen for realsies. So a lot of what Vanellope did, and if I remember, I had pretty, like, A, B, C, sort of like, I want this to happen, I'd like this to happen, and then finally, this is how I hope it ends. Let's film Vanellope for like an hour and see what we can get. And that's what happened. And after that, you review the footage and go, okay, this is what I can do. And then I did the stop motion stuff, which, again, I talked about this earlier. My stop motion is okay. Very, like, it gets the job done within the very limited time I have. But overall, it's still a movie that I'm very fond of, and I'm just looking back now. I'm I'm very happy with how this turned out. There's a lot to know. Oh man, now you guys have done goofed. Dum Dum said, thoughts on Godzilla King of the Monsters? Oh, well, that was indeed, I talked about it earlier, but just to paraphrase, it's currently, I was asked what my favorite Godzilla movie is, and since I watched that last night, and Godzilla King of the Monsters is a movie that I've always loved and admired, it's currently my #1. We will see how long that lasts, considering, well, my favorite Godzilla movies change sometimes on an hourly or daily basis, or a weekly basis. We'll see. But yeah, I absolutely love Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's always been one of my all-time favorites since it first came out, and I think in time it'll continue to grow and grow. Not only on me, I mean, that's a given, right? It already it lives rent-free in my heart. I'd say it lives rent-free in my soul, but I'm a redhead. Got no soul. But if I did, that it would reserve a spot, a special place for King of the Monsters. But I feel like it's got, like, it's kind of hard at times to tell if the movie is loved or not, depending on what circles you happen to inhabit, where you are, you know, as far as, like, what's the general Godzilla-minded consensus. Like, in certain parts of the internet experiment, you might find fans who absolutely hate it. But then again, those fans typically hate almost everything that they claim to love. And then you have fans that generally like it. And what I'm trying to say is, because I'm monologuing a little bit, and we're all distracted by my giant cat beating the hell out of these poor at the box office, but it definitely didn't live up to our expectations. We were all hoping it would have done more, you know, maybe in the 500, 600 million range, but who knows. Reaction to the Godzilla vs. King Kong epic rap battle of history.
No, don't take it. Vanellope. Oh my God.
I mean, it's a classic, guys. I mean, I've been a long time fan of epic rap battles of history. So when they did Godzilla versus Kong, these guys always do their homework. So many, like, it's still shocking to me because at times you could tell when you look at like a number of different YouTube channels that are mainstream that cover pop culture across the board, and then when they suddenly start covering Godzilla stuff, you could tell they did a quick little Google search here. You could, I mean, you just know they're not like, they like, hopefully since they're covering it, they like Godzilla, they respect the character, but you can tell they're not into it. They're not like, they don't love it. And I don't want to give the wrong false impression here. I'm not one of those fans that's like, I don't believe in the whole like telling people that they're not a true fan or anything of the sort, but you can tell, like, to them it's just the job, right? They're crunching the numbers. They're trying to generate content. Godzilla is in the news and he's big, so why not, right? So I do feel like, though, the epic rap battles of history crew, I honestly could not tell if they like really love the characters or not, because they did such a damn good job. If they did their homework but they're like not really big fans, then just a job well done. Like they did such a good job that I feel like this is the kind of stuff that if Godzilla fans were, if I were a talented writer, which is funny because those of you who know I've written stuff, but I don't think I'm a good writer at all. But if I was a good writer and I wanted to take all this Godzilla knowledge and just somehow, find the right creative team and, transition all that into epic rap battle lines, verses, it still wouldn't even come close to what these guys successfully managed to do. So, yeah, my reaction was a positive one. I absolutely loved it was a dream come true. Excuse me, sorry. Do you want a Godzilla vs. Gamera film? Yes, absolutely. But I think an even better question would be, do I want to make a Godzilla vs. Gamera film? About that.
I died many years ago, but there was no paradise waiting for me. Only hell. And I wasn't alone. In a tempest of souls, I alone escaped. Now, I'm being hunted by a demon. The same creature I sacrificed everything to destroy. Gojira. And nothing will satisfy him but my soul. That is why I need your help, Gamera.
October 2024. Wait a minute. Okay, so context. So I made this in like 2023 around October, and I thought, yeah, this is gonna be my next big stop motion project. But until then, just to get people fired up and interested, I'm gonna like build interest in it and release this teaser trailer, Halloween themed tribute. And I never really got around to being able to do it because the script itself, like the story as a concept, is one that I'm really fascinated. Like I'm invested in. I kid you not, there's so much that I want to do with this project. You know, I'm pitting GMK Godzilla up against Heisei Gamera, and Serizawa's soul hangs in the balance, right? Like, the whole premise is that, okay, so GMK Godzilla is like a vessel for, you know, essentially the souls of all those who died in the Pacific War. Oh, and I would, as a concept, take that and basically, this thing, Godzilla pretty much contains just legions of souls, all these people, all these beings who've died but can't move on, right? So they're stuck in purgatory or a living, or something worse. It's kind of like hell itself. Godzilla has become that literal hell. And only one soul has escaped that tempest of souls, and it was Serizawa. But now Godzilla hunts him, right? He wants him back, and so Godzilla is seeking Serizawa, chasing him around. And I gotta say, the whole idea of having Serizawa seeking help by, you know, calling upon Gamera for aid, I love it. There's so much more I want to say, but, you know, it's still one of those things where I'm like, I promise this is something that I will eventually do because the idea is really good, but I really want the script to be... I've been working on it off and on. I keep coming back to it, and every time I do, I'm fired up again. So here, let's watch that one more time, and then we can go to a couple other ones.
I died many years ago, but there was no paradise waiting for me.
Also notice
Only
all the
hell.
bubbles around him.
I wasn't alone.
Oh, and this scene is just creepy.
In a tempest of souls, I alone escaped. Now, I'm being hunted by a demon. The same creature I sacrificed everything to destroy. Gojira. And nothing will satisfy him but my soul. That is why I need your help, Gamera.
Okay, so yeah, I have so many ideas, but again, it's just one of those things where it's like, in order to tackle a project like this, it takes everything. You know, you're gonna have, I want to give it all of my time, all of my attention. As far as plots go, the whole concept, I hope you can take my word for it. It's not only worth the wait, but in time, when it's finally done, you'll see exactly what I mean. Is it okay to ask who would win questions? Absolutely, Sean. You know what? Go for it, man. Just go for it. Oh, absolute cinema. Thank you, man. I try. Alright, let's see what else we got here as far as other... Ooh, okay, so this is another... This next project is still a proof of concept. Like, this entire... Normally, within, like, 3 or 5 months, I can have, like, dozens of scenes, maybe even 20 to 30 scenes done and ready to go. I mean, I could really see myself completing like maybe a 3 to 6 minute stop motion movie within a 3-5 month period if, you know, I did all my planning. I you know, just I everything worked out exactly how I would have liked it, right? But this was all one big scene and it took like 5 months, and I gotta say it's a doozy, so get ready, guys. Oh my goodness. So much awesome, but at the same time, even now I'm like, I wish you did it this way instead. It would have saved you so much time past me. You beautiful person. Okay, so that's all super awesome. And I know some people might be like, Tom, aren't you a little biased? I mean, complimenting your work like that? I'm not biased, I'm just super educated on the subject matter, right? And I gotta say, I love this. I really do, but I really wish I maybe waited a couple more months just to get all the cool other shots that I had planned to, you know, it would have been cool to have them actually fighting the Gauss. Like, Godzilla shoots his atomic breath and it, like, burns through a Gauss and hits another one behind it. Or, you know, Kong tackles a group of them and they have this really awesome close quarter combat sort of battle. I mean, there's so much I could have done that I wish I did, but the Godzilla's honest truth is that entire one take of Godzilla and the Kaiju Avengers coming together, or Titan Force as I call them, that was so draining. It took so much longer than I thought. And like I said a moment ago, I wish I did things differently. Eventually I figured out my mistakes and what I could have done to save time, and still, like, the quality wouldn't have dropped at all. In fact, it would have arguably improved. But, you know, it is what it is. You learn. That's the whole point. And I love this question. Thoughts on Iris from the Heisei Gamera trilogy? Oh, Iris is like one of my all-time favorite kaiju. Love the design. I love the execution. For the most part, I do feel like they could have... I feel like he could have been a greater threat, or should have. I mean, there's so much potential to Iris, not only as a character, but I guess as a plot device. But, like, you know, I'm still, again, I don't want to make... Every time I play one of these movies that are just concepts or scenes from an incomplete project, I don't want to, like, keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's the truth, which is I do plan on making, you know, a longer Titan Force movie, if that makes sense, and Iris is the big bad. he commands a whole swarm of Gauss. It's just, it writes itself. But again, like, time. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, if I start focusing completely on any one of these stop motion concepts that I really want to do, and I want to do them all, my channel practically will die. Like, it'll go in hiatus, I should say. Maybe saying the channel will die is a bit dramatic. It is hyperbolic, and I am prone to hyperbole. But the amount of time these projects take are just so draining. Even if I, like, plan and go, okay, we're going to take breaks, we're going to focus on other stuff, you will see, like, just the activity on this channel which it's taken me years to create, to reach to this point where I can at least do like 3 to 6 projects a month. That'll vanish. It'll dramatically decrease. So I'm not ruling it out, because I want to get back to making these fun stop motion projects. But yeah, unfortunately though, they usually don't generate as much interest, as far as my channel is concerned, as far as what my subscribers want. Many of you want more like comic book breakdowns, and it's great. We're all in luck because I love making those. So it works out. But yeah, the stop motion projects, I'm gonna return to more in force, but it's one of those things where there are gonna be I don't want to say consequences, but there will I guess you're gonna see a decrease in content. But my overall thoughts on Iris from the Heisei Gamera trilogy itself is, I really enjoyed him as a villain. I thought his connection with Ayana, and of course taking advantage of her pain, of her depression, her trauma, and using it against her, like just molding her into, just a pawn in his plans of ascension, was just, he's easily one of the most evil kaiju like out there. He's incredible. He's so good, in fact, that my brain literally stopped working for a moment there. Sean says, I know this matchup was already made in a comic, but Destroya versus Biollante. So I think, for the most part, like, it's one of those, like, how many times are they fighting? Because each kaiju has what it takes to win a battle. Like Destroya using the oxygen destroyer beams and a laser horn, chopper twice, that can absolutely wreak havoc on Biollante. And there's the whole, Biollante being a Godzilla human plant hybrid. What effect would Destroya's oxygen destroyer powers have on Biollante? Are they fighting in a lake? If so, fighting Destroya near a large water source is a huge, huge mistake. And even though, yeah, most of us, kaiju included, are made of water, right? Which is why Destroya is basically poses an existential threat to all life as we know it. But, in a huge water source, Destroya could just break down into, like, billions, trillions of microbes and just absolutely wreck Biollante in all ways. And I feel like I'm leaning towards Destroya here, but Biollante cannot be underestimated. She has the means of absolutely breaking Destroya down. I mean, her vines, her tentacles are going to punch through Destroya. no problem. And Destroya, I feel like both monsters, I've seen in discussions that, you know, Biollante supporters tend to, they seem to act that she has infinite energy, and therefore she has, like, there's no limits to her regeneration. She can keep healing from any damage and come right back. And the same kind of applies to Destroya fans who believe that Destroya, whatever damage it incurs, is just going to break down, reform, and return. But it's just not true. It's all a matter of, like, I mean, both were defeated in their own way. So they do have limits, you know, so I don't believe in the whole no limits fallacy here, right? We're not going to invoke it. So really, when it's all said and done, I do think Destroya, however, does have what it takes to really break Biollante down and force her to, at the very least, retreat more often than she'd force Destroya to retreat. But I do admit it's a lot closer than a lot of people would think. But as of right now, I would lean towards Destroya, but, you know, my mind could be changed on this, especially since I highly doubt Destroya would like Biollante's acid. So it's a good fight, though. Good matchup. Sean says, when I was younger, I considered Iris to be the strongest, but as I got older, I consider Legion to be the strongest. I keep going back and forth. Who do you think is the strongest? Between the two of them? Oh, man. Mothra be thy name, guys. I just flip a coin at this point. I mean, Legion is extremely strong if you scale stats, you know, it like, at least when you pick Gamera Kaiju against Godzilla Kaiju, please scale the stats, or at least, or maybe throw out the stats so you don't get the whole, well, Legion's only 600 tons and Godzilla's 60,000 tons, so he just, like, flicks her and she goes flying to the moon or something, right? But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Gamera greatly struggled against Legion. Sometimes he would successfully manage to stop her in her tracks, but she's still unbelievably strong, and I consider Gamera to be one of the strongest kaiju, at least, especially from the Heisei era. And if anyone really wants to go down that, you know, I'm perfectly willing to back it up. But again, it depends if we can all agree on making sure the stats are scaled. Otherwise, it's kind of... Otherwise, my argument's moot. But, like, between... to answer Sean's question so I don't get lost in another tomahawk here, I kind of feel like it just... How did both treat Gamera? Did both overpower Gamera? Yes, but not always. And when they did, it, like, there, you know, some context is needed. Like, Legion and Gamera would indeed, you know, clash. Neither usually was able to push back the other. And that all changed, however, when Legion would, like, say, kind of like use her spears to weaken Gamera, or she would literally have to jump up and then come down and, you know, knock Gamera down. That's when she'd overpower him, or with using her laser whips. And Iris overpowered Gamera by essentially taking his big scythe and stabbing it through Gamera's chest. That made it so much easier to move Gamera, right? So, like I said, I feel like you could flip a coin here, but I kind of lean, if I have to choose, I lean a little bit more towards Legion. But it's kind of moot, because it depends. Like, both, like, Iris could overpower Legion if he stabbed through her face, right? Or, you know, all he needs is to just pierce her, which he's most certainly capable of doing, and then he's going to overpower just about anyone. So, yeah, your mileage may vary. If I had to choose who do I think is the strongest, I'd pick Legion. But yeah, it can go back and forth. I can't believe for a second Legion is only 600 tons. No way. Well, yeah, that's her official stats. But again, stats... I am quite outspoken when I say I am, when it comes to the interest of having, you know, a who wins sort of discussion, or when it comes to analyzing how strong these characters are, I will absolutely just throw the stats out the window. I don't care if they're official, because the truth of the matter is the people that made it, like the studios, whoever made these stats and called them official, they don't care about power levels. They don't care about who would win. And we all know, even if, you know, they released a Godzilla Gamera movie, and in the movie Godzilla is like 800 million tons and Gamera's only 200 tons, there's still gonna have a fight. It's not gonna be so one-sided. And if it was one-sided, it'd have absolutely nothing to do with their stats. Who would win? Kratos versus Godzilla? I'm not entirely... I'm not an expert on Kratos, so I can't really say. I'm aware of his reputation. And I have indeed watched a lot of... I've watched channels where the content makers, streamers would be playing one of the Kratos games, but yeah, I can't really say. I'd have to do way more research, and of course it depends on the Godzilla, right? Alright, let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, oh okay, so what other video can I play for you guys? Ooh, I know which one. The crossover nobody ever really asked for, but honestly, I thought it'd be cool to make a Godzilla crossover with some of my favorite characters.
So short he could be squashed by a giant lizard. I'm not small.
You did. Good job. I guess you can sit for a while and show us. Why weren't you scared?
I'm Batman.
Yeah, there's some sync problems.
I have a lot of money.
Doesn't change the fact that it's entertaining.
You're the Full Metal Alchemist! It's him. What? Him? But he's just a pipsqueak! Oh, shit.
Who are you calling so short he can be squashed by a giant lizard? I'm not small. You're just ridiculously huge. I'll show you who's tiny. Just you wait. I'll transmute you into a pile of atomic rubber.
Alright, thank you.
Size doesn't matter, you oversized iguana. You gotta be kidding me!
Alright. Hopefully that didn't get flagged, because there was some music that I used that sometimes I do get issues with Toho and other in company. You know, I've had about a month ago I had a lot of like it had to be AI, but a lot of copyright claims, right? I had people again, I don't think it was people, but AI bots trying to copyright claim a number of my videos, especially these kind of videos, and it was a bummer, but most of them I managed to, you know, shoot down, and they're still up on the channel and I can still monetize. But then there are some that, yeah, I did use some of the Godzilla King of the Monsters score, and yeah, I can't really monetize those for understandable reasons, because I do not own the music, the rights to it, and I do not have permission to use it. So, but it's my birthday, so I'm sure things will be fine, right? How much do you know about Ultraman? Ooh. I know a pretty decent amount. More knowledgeable with, say, Ultraman Tiga, Ultraman Nexus, Shin Ultraman, I know a pretty decent amount about, but there's like so many different Ultras out there. I'm okay when it comes to Ultraman, say, Zero, Dyna, Ultraman Cosmos, Ultraman Gaia. You know, I know my Ultras, right? I can, but I do admit there's still, like, there's plenty of room for improvement, right? But yeah, there's just so many of them, and I'm not completely, like, I'm not an expert when it comes to the Showa era Ultramans. I know a decent amount about the OG Ultraman, but I could definitely look more into, I can refresh my memory by rewatching Ultra 7, Ultraman Jack, and on and so forth. So I would say I know enough more than, you know, the average tokusatsu fan, but I'm still not quite at the point where I feel like I can create Ultraman related content until I know more than I currently do. It's why I haven't, I mean, I did cover, what I have covered is the Ultraman Avengers comic book crossover, at which point I was, you know, what happened in that crossover I know a decent amount of, which is why I did it. But to cover the previous, like the Rise of Ultraman series, I really want to get more, I want to go back and rewatch the original to refresh my memory, and before I tackle that, because, you know, I like to include inside, not just jokes here and there, but Easter eggs. I like to add more information. I like to, you know, spread the gospel of Ultraman, but in order to do that, I want to be more confident in doing that. Alright, let's see what else we got on our list. Ooh, let's do this guy. This one's fun. Donnell says, "Hey Kaiju, I love your work with the Godzilla comics. Keep up the good work, man." Thank you Thank you so much. I really appreciate that and can do. Thank you for stopping by. Or stomping by. Ultraman died because I, did not give a satisfying answer to the question. Oh, I didn't know about Ultraman. This is clearly one of those stories where the bad guys win and the world has done. Scroy and Gigan are bowing. Oh! Space Godzilla bows. All of them bow. yeah, so this project, it's called Godzilla Apocalypse Now. It's been on the channel for a couple of years. It's one of my favorite. Like, I'm very proud of it, and just watching it right now, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy I made this. And it really did, like, oh, Final Wars guy again, thank you so much. This is amazing stop motion. I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, this is where I really began to refine my techniques, and it really helped me know what sort of like how to you know, I guess stay on the clock, if that makes sense, like how to like you know, schedule accordingly and effectively while also still pushing the limits to your, you know, pushing your skills to the next level. And I feel like I have refined my craft. I can like really come back here and look back at this and say, yeah, this is the one that really put me like in a place where I am confident that with enough time I can make just about any project that I have in mind that I want to do. I can absolutely make it happen. And even that doesn't mean like looking back now I can't say for you know, I'm not gonna like act like, oh, everything's perfect, I wouldn't change a thing. Obviously, yeah, there's a lot of things I do differently now, but that's how you learn, right? But yeah, this is, I feel like, one of the biggest stepping stones towards, you know, how, you know, shaping the kind of Godzilla stop motion artist I am today. And this is that movie that I give a lot of credit. This is really where I refine my skills. That if you were to look at like let's just say the next one, my most recent one, we'll play in here in just a few minutes, you could absolutely see when you watch it, you can absolutely, you know, connect the dots to this, to Godzilla Apocalypse Now, and know, oh yeah, this is where Tom developed these sort of skills, improved upon them, and then, you know, this is the current, I guess you could say, the current form of where he is now. But I really do like this movie, and yeah, I'm really satisfied with how it turned out. I feel sad my boy Final Wars Gigan gets destroyed like that. I always was upset of how Toho made him so weak, including Showa Gigan. I mean, it's nothing personal. I mean, after all, Space Godzilla, Destroya, heavy hitters in themselves, they were taken out pretty easily. You know, how monsters come and go in my projects doesn't mean I, like, it's not a great representation of how I, you know, like, how I feel about them. Like, Gigan's one of my favorites, so if that somehow translated towards how I'm going to show him how I feel like he can be an efficient kaiju killing machine, then it absolutely would happen. Speaking of Gigan, we'll get to a classic Kaijutopia stop motion starring Gigan taking on Iris, but first let me just show the most recent Godzilla stop motion project of mine. So yeah, I feel like if you watched Godzilla Apocalypse Now and then watched Godzilla Shadow of the Smog Monster, I think you could see like there's some cross-referencing here. You could see where like my VFX skills really started taking shape and how they are still consistently what they were then, with hopefully some upgrades. You know, hopefully, you know, I've improved. I think I have, and you can see where like that sort of, you know, doing a project like Godzilla Apocalypse Now can really not only amplify your experience and get you, you know, it kind of like switches off. Or not switches off. It's like a switchboard, and now it starts clicking. Your VFX making grain in different ways, and you begin to like really mature as an animator, and it can take you in different directions. Like the door, so many different doors of opportunity can open, and you just gotta pursue it. And man, I gotta say, absolutely love how this one turned out too. Even though the ending of Hedorah infecting Godzilla and turning him into like a parasitic host, that I'm sure Godzilla fans are not completely happy that their boy, you know, the big G, the G-Man, kind of ends on a doomer sort of ending for him. But you know, I do hope to come back one day and make another one, like a follow-up, because it's not over. Yeah, sure, Godzilla looks like he's let's just bring him up here and so everyone can see. Yeah, sure, he's currently, he's got Hedorah controlling him, you know, from the inside out. Like, not figuratively, but like literally. And yeah, it's all hope seems lost, but I don't feel like it's the end of Godzilla here. I think you could argue that there are ways he could burn the Plague Lord out of his system. It is pretty gruesome though to look at, but I love the design. I love how it all turned out. It's, man, it really is quite something. All right, so checking in, we are like, what are we at? An hour and 30 minutes into the stream. Okay, let's do like another, I'm going to do like another 15 minutes and then I'm going to call it good. Hang on, let me just make sure everything is okay here. Sorry, I just had to double check. Sometimes YouTube is a little wonky. It's like, hey, your connection's poor, and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure why. I haven't done anything different. Although it's possible that my son's watching the Minecraft movie again on HBO Max, so maybe that's taking up that's causing connectivity issues. Who knows? But yeah, let's go for another 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna call it. Which version of Gigan do you think is the most powerful? Gigan Rex from the Godzilla Gemstone video, little short, Godzilla versus Gigan Rex. Yeah, I think Gigan Rex would be the most powerful. Although there are some different comic book variations we can get into. Like IDW's Gigan, he was able to go toe-to-toe pretty well against Space Godzilla. He could go up against Godzilla himself. I mean, he's Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty close between Gigan Rex and the IDW main Gigan. That's just at the top of my head, though. I'd have to, think about it more. But, who do you think is the most powerful Gigan? Is it Final Wars Gigan? Yeah? Welcome back, Sean. We're going to take another look at, let's see. I can always, I have, a whole massive list of other movies I'd like to show, but let's see. How about this? Instead of 15 minutes, we're going to keep it, we're going to watch Mechagodzilla vs. Destroya vs. Space Godzilla. And we'll end it on a good note. This movie, I think, is about 22 minutes long, give or take. And yeah, I'll stay a little bit after to chat. I might pause every once in a while to just, answer any questions. Or how about this? I'll keep the movie going. And, if it's kind of hard to listen to me and the movie, let me know and I could pause it or reduce its volume. We'll figure it out. But yeah, feel free to send more questions and we'll go from there.
G-Force, this is Black Dragon. We're approaching the target site. Oh, shit! They're everywhere! We're surrounded.
Absolutely, really do want to make another first-person shooter involving
Seattle
Destroyas.
is under siege. Hours ago, these terrible monsters started wreaking havoc. U.S. forces have engaged the hostile creatures, but they seek pilots to stop them. Oh my god. Oh my god!
All units, retreat. G-Force will take it from here.
More hostile life forms detected. There must be thousands of them. What do you think, Michael?
Brandon from
They're
Up From the
intimidated.
Depths
Look at them haul ass.
is,
It looks
doing
like
the
some have
voice
gone
acting for
airborne.
the
I don't think we'll be able to show
Red
them the
G-Force
bottom of
member
our
here.
boot.
And my good friend BJ Listman does the blue.
Easton's
I'm the
correct.
one,
We'll call
doing
in air
the
support.
G-Force leader
Garuda,
here.
do you copy?
And
Heard she's
my
one of those
wife,
psychics, trained by the legendary
well,
Miki
she'll be showing
Sakusa
up here in
herself.
You
just
don't
a
really
sec.
believe she's psychic, do you?
Dude, monsters, gods, and aliens walk among us. We fight them like once a week.
Yeah, but psychics? That seems a bit...
Afraid she might read your mind?
Hey, my mind's an open book.
That's why I only read bestsellers. Garuda, reporting for duty. The enemy is forming around the Harborview Medical Center. Preparing to engage. Wait. Micro-oxygen readings detected.
I can.
Oh, shit.
Blood pattern confirmed. It's a kaiju.
That's not just any kaiju.
So many
That's
references.
Destroya.
It looks like the devil.
Can you read its mind?
No. There's a lot of noise. It's like a hive mind.
Whoa, my instruments are short-circuiting. There's some electromagnetic interference.
What the hell was that? It looked like Godzilla.
Impossible. According to Monarch, Godzilla was last seen off the coast of Lagos Island.
Godzilla also can't fly, except for that one time.
Or arrive in a giant crystal fortress.
It was a
Matthew,
projection.
Damian, thank
Of
you
what?
so much for the
It would
birthday
only frighten you.
wishes.
More than I already am?
Well, it's a good
It means
thing
a
we
lot,
can't
guys.
see
Thank you
much
so
through all
much.
this dust.
God, I love that shot. This one too, but the one with Destroyer flying past him without him realizing. Creepy.
Bad news, guys.
Let's hear the good news first.
There isn't any.
Damn, alright, I'll bite. What's the bad news?
Seattle's going for a ride. Does anyone copy? I'm losing power. It knows about me. It's trying to.
We lost contact with Garuda.
We also lost contact with HQ. There's a lot of electromagnetic interference out there.
Hey, you know what else we lost? That big scary monster!
What's our damage level?
Damage level 8, sir. The joints won't hold up much longer.
Fire the Mega Buster.
Negative! The Mega Buster is disabled!
Weapon status.
Almost ready to go. Just need a little more time.
We need an act of God. That's not what I meant!
O'Brien was right.
It's the next
It
best
does
thing.
frighten me.
Oh man.
Anyone else tired of being a punching bag?
I think we should just hang back and let the evil monsters fight.
What do you think, Mechagodzilla?
Benjamin. I think we should handle solid advice. Absolutely. Like and subscribe.
Guys, I'm sorry to say this, but that hit took us out of the fight. We're not going anywhere until the power is restored. Power's been restored, and the Mega Buster is back online too.
Mechagodzilla. Destroy all monsters.
He said the line.
Not reading any vitals. Maybe we got them both?
It can't be that easy.
I mean, it wasn't.
Hey, look at that!
Wow, when did we go to space?
I don't think Mechagodzilla and space mix very well.
Well, I didn't think space and Godzilla mixed very well together either. But there's a friggin' space Godzilla now!
Ooh. Maybe they'll say that in
I
Godzilla
hope
X Kong
O'Brien is okay.
Supernova.
She has to be.
Without her, I don't even think Mechagodzilla will be enough.
Then we call for backup? Maybe Mogera or the...
Comms are still down. You know, isn't it crazy how one moment you could be staring at the most wondrous thing you're ever going to see in your life, while at the same time, there's something terrible right behind you?
There were no survivors. We were too late to save them.
That's over 500,000 people.
There's 7 billion people living down there on that little rock we call home, and they won't be for long if we don't make sure those monsters stay dead.
Systems are offline.
Which one?
All of them! There's a gravitational anomaly. It's like Space Godzilla's crushing us with a singularity.
If he drops us, we're done for.
Oh!
I saw you damsels in distress, so I thought I'd give you a lift.
You're amazing, O'Brien.
This is so awesome. Super Mechagodzilla is online.
This takes me back. Let's go, let's go!
Hey, Ugly. You got something on your face.
Oh, don't, dude. Copyright this video. Yeah, I still can't believe I made this.
Okay, Space Godzilla is 6 feet under and destroys literally all over the place, but this giant crystal thing is taking us further into outer space.
We can't escape its gravity field, so we need to destroy it.
According to spectrographs, it's acting as Space Godzilla's power repository, so if we do take it out and Astro Monster's still alive, he should be easier to put down.
And how exactly are we supposed to take it out? It's the size of a freaking mountain. Do we get to use our secret weapon?
Negative. We're going to turn Mechagodzilla into a giant projectile, but we need to be in 2 places at once. Garuda, you are to destroy those crystal spires.
Ooh, a side mission. So much fun.
We can't risk losing
My
Garuda.
wife's
More
not
like you
acting
can't risk
here.
losing your
This is
greatest
literally
weapon.
how we...
What? Do you think I
How we
didn't know
banter
everything
back
about
and
my
forth.
ship? I'll see you soon.
Oh, no. All that green blood, yet where'd Destroya go? Oh.
We did it, O'Brien. We're still here.
I could tell by the Michael Bay explosion. Nice work, guys. I'm just finishing up.
Hey, I'm getting some abnormal reading of the micro-oxygen variety. It's coming from the fusion core.
Is it Destroya?
Not sure, but the pattern suggests that we might have some stowaways on board.
More like an infestation.
You 2 stay here.
Colonel, with all due respect, there's only one person capable of piloting MG alone, and it ain't us. And this pest control deal is a 2-person job.
You 2 get back here safely. That's an order.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay, we're right above the fusion core. Any sign of our intruders?
It's strange. Sensors are picking them up right in front of us, but nothing's there. Still must be suffering interference from Space Godzilla.
Oh, Colonel, we're surrounded.
And
Ethan is
in
down.
front of you.
We need backup.
I'm only a few clicks away. Aboard Mechagodzilla and help.
Negative. Space Godzilla is still alive.
Understood, Colonel. We'll find another way. Kick that shiny bastard's ass.
Oh, I love this. Oh my I like doing that. There's so many.
Thanks for the energy. But you can have it. G-Force, what's our status?
Colonel, they're pulling back.
How's Easton doing?
He needs medical attention ASAP.
ETA, 1 minute.
Copy. Hang tight. I'm coming down to help.
Oh, the Mothra thing.
O'Brien, get as far away as you can.
Colonel Richards, what do you mean?
My friends, it was an honor serving with you.
The honor was ours, Colonel.
You bastard! You killed all my friends!
Oh, this shot.
O'Brien, do you copy?
I wish
Does
I could have
anyone
redone
copy?
this. There's
Over?
a number
I
of
thought
things
you were all
that
dead.
are...
I tried a little avenging. It didn't work out. I'm parked right outside.
I have Easton. He's holding on. I don't know if the Colonel is alive.
He's alive.
Oh, good. It's gonna take me a hot minute to drag him over to you.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong now? No, wait. Let me guess. Giant monster.
Mechagodzilla's fusion core is about to go thermonuclear. But I might be able to buy us some time. We need to hurry, though. Space Godzilla's planning to hurl Seattle back at the Earth.
But that would... Oh.
Damage level 10. Mechagodzilla has been destroyed. There are no survivors.
You're wrong there. There's plenty of us.
Ace era
Thanks for the
memories
lift, O'Brien.
indeed.
It looks like we got off that rock in just the nick of time.
Thank Mechagodzilla.
If it's all the same to you, I'll thank the next model.
Foreshadowing?
Ha! Mr. Cosmic Horror seems to think he just blew up the Earth. Look at him gloating.
Prepare the weapon.
Woo! Surprise!
You think you've won, monster, but it doesn't take a psychic to see that you've lost.
Oh!
Space Godzilla looks how I feel.
And how are you feeling? Think you'll be able to pull through?
Oh yeah, it'll be a piece of steak, sir.
Cake. It'll be a piece of cake.
I want steak.
Man wants steak, we'll get him steak.
Yeah, I want steak
Children. Hang on tight, G-Force. We're going home.
Mechagodzilla versus Destroyer versus Space Gods. But wait. There's more. Hakai, aka Space Destroyer. I love my cliffhanger endings. Hey, that's me. Yeah, Alex Alcantor. Brandon, up from the depths. Best Godzilla YouTube channel ever. Benjamin, amazing. Morgan, my love, my wife. She did such a good job. This Thomas Fairchild guy did okay, voice acting wise. Andrew from Kaiju War Chronicles, Toho Kingdom. Really appreciated his help. And my good friend Eric. Really loved working with him. I really want to work with him more in the future on these projects. He did pretty good. Hey, look, Toho, I'm giving credit. Don't copyright me, man. I'm just doing the best I can. Okay, so I feel like this movie deserves its own like documentary style explanation. Like there is so much backstory. There's so much that I went into that didn't make the final cut, or I just like never really expanded upon, or left rather ambiguous. But yeah, I like, this is still like my crowning jewel, man. I love this movie. I loved all the people who helped me make it. It continues to this day to be, well, you guys who've been here from the beginning of the stream, I've already been asked about whether I'm gonna like make another movie like this. It speaks for itself. It's very like, does it hold up? You guys tell me. A number of things have made me go, oh man, I wish I did that a little differently, of course, but I still love it. I'm blown away that I made it. I'm blown away that it exists. I think it's arguably my best. It's not my favorite. There's one more that I guess, you know what? It's my birthday. We'll watch one more, another stop motion. But I want you guys to know that this movie not only is, personally, I think it's my best one yet, but I also feel like it's like one of a kind. I don't think I'll ever make anything like it ever again. I still want to make movies, you know, that are up there, and Godzilla willing, I will someday, but man, this was I put everything into this. I wrote a script. We got a number of voice actors. I commissioned a number of artists, Alex Alcantor being one of them. I went all out, man. All out production-wise on this one. Yeah, I really do hope I might dedicate a whole stream where I can really, or maybe not a stream, but a video where I can really go into the behind the scenes and show you how I made this, how it came to be, and for any like aspiring filmmakers out there, you know, we live in an era where it's so much easier to get your hands on assets that can help you make just about any movie you can imagine. While I'm on this subject about making movies and having access to not only talent, you know, being able to connect and collaborate with with just truly incredible artists and people. Let me just take a moment and just say, fuck AI. There, it's been said. Moving on. Final Wars Geigen, I love your comment too. I loved how your family helped with this production. It really is one of those, like, it was a great bonding experience. I still remember not only collaborating really closely with my wife, but like, she gave me such a great advice, especially in the screenwriting process. Like, she read the script and we'd talk, and, you know, when we're in the recording session where she's sitting literally right where I'm sitting now and recording her lines, she really thought quite attentively about what she was saying and how to emote, how to express. And then she would like challenge me. She would be like, okay, this part doesn't really make sense to me. What does this mean? We talk about it. And there's this one part where I thought I had it all figured out, but then like she just explained, listen, this makes no sense to me. Here's why. And, you know, we thought about it and managed to improve it significantly with her help, improve the scene like on the spot. So it was great. I love that kind of thing. Makes me wish, you know, it's made me remember the days when I worked on movie sets with other people. Like, it feels like another lifetime ago, but there's nothing quite like it. Nothing quite like that camaraderie and, you know, working with a production crew and making something really unique, special. But yeah, I loved working with her. I loved working with my best friend. I loved working with Brandon from Up from the Depths. He was just, I knew like a lot of his lines were you know, Godzilla fans are totally gonna get this. You know, they're gonna understand the reference, and I knew he alone could like deliver on it, and he did such a great job. He was so amazing to work with. I really appreciate him in so many ways. I respect him, and he's inspiring. He's done a lot of great things. So being able to work with him was truly an honor. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to respond to some of your guys' questions, and then I'm going to play one more movie, which is, in my opinion, my all-time favorite stop-motion movie I ever made. I'm going to give you a little bit more information before I start it here in just a sec, but let me answer some questions here. I gotta scroll up a little bit, so apologies if I didn't respond. If I don't respond, just remind me, guys. Let's see. You can see me scrolling up here right now. Wait a minute. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, here, you can see that I can highlight stuff. That's cool. Final Wars Guy, an awesome movie and great A++ work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. Question teaser. Okay, question teasers for Infinity Roar issues 3 through 5 suggest that the plan to stop symbiote Godzilla will be to reach across for other Godzillas to fight him. What versions of Big G do you think will show up? You know, I think what we're going to see are the other Marvel Godzilla one-shots. I think we're going to see a number of, like we might see Necro Godzilla, who fought Thor, and Jason Aaron's Godzilla versus Thor run. We might see Cosmic Godzilla. I think we're going to see Hulk Godzilla, Hulkzilla. That would be my quick guess, my speculation. I also suspect they kind of, I don't know if they're going to actually do this, but what I suspect that they could do, and what I personally think they should do, is given how recently we were reminded that Galactus used to have been the Lifebringer during his Lifebringer arc in Al Ewing's Ultimates run. Now that Godzilla has hijacked the power of Galactus, I think one way to actually stop this version of Godzilla would be to convert him, turn him into the new Lifebringer. So Lifebringer Godzilla would be a very interesting surprise and path to take, in my opinion. But yeah, the other Godzilla Marvel one-shot Godzillas I could see. Or we might end up seeing, I don't know, Legendary Godzilla. We could see Godzilla -1, Shin Godzilla show up. The more the merrier. Let's see. Am I missing anything? I would love to see. Ooh, don't touch that. Bad Tom. I would love to see Tom do Space Godzilla versus Destroya full analysis video. I know I could ask him in a stream, but I feel like that matchup deserves its own video. I know that's selfish of me, but I don't think it's selfish of you, Sean, at all. I know you want to see that. I used to do the Kaiju Carnage series. That kind of quickly died. It's not because I lost interest. It's just that, time. I got to choose my projects wisely. But yeah, Space Godzilla vs. Destroya is something that I would be interested in doing. Maybe that's something I might do in the summer, but we'll see. All right, and Final Wars Gigan. I think you mentioned something about me showing Gigan versus Iris. Unfortunately, that is not the video that I have in mind. I know I wanted to watch it. I think I said we would show it, but I'm sorry. We're just running out of time, and I gotta call it soon. Let's just watch one more movie, and then I gotta get ready. I gotta get ready to put the kid to bed. I gotta get ready for the work week and beyond. So before we get going, this movie was greatly inspired by my becoming a dad. It absolutely becoming a father changed everything. I mean, obviously, duh, but when I say it changed me in every single way, I'm not kidding. It changed how I see the world, how I think, what I believe. It changed also, I guess, more apropos, it changed how I express myself in artistic ways. So this is that result. say hi to everybody? Yeah, well, Logan, guess what? This movie is a movie Daddy made just a few months after you were born. So it's kind of like what I said, you know, when you have a kid, it kind of changes you in every way. Yeah. Well, I did not plan on my amazing son to join us, but it kind of was fitting, right? I mean, it made perfect sense.
Why you take my Jeffy?
I don't know what you mean. I didn't take your stuffy. He came here on his own. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed Space Godzilla Prodigal Son. It is one of it's my favorite. I'm so proud of how it turned out. It was an emotional journey. It was a true roller coaster, and I'm proud of it, and I wouldn't change a thing. I'm kind of, I don't know what else to say other than I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find comfort, solace in it. And yeah, thank you again for making this a very memorable birthday. I'm truly lucky to you know, be doing what I'm doing, and I can't wait to, you know, share what other projects I have for you guys in the future.